From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, April 11th. Even warmer today as we pump in slightly more breezy winds out of the south. The winds are in tandem with a lot of sunshine, with temperatures rising into the mid-70s. A fantastically warm and bright day. And new this morning in the overnight hours, we learned that the Louisville mass shooter was reportedly from Indiana. Police say 5 people are dead and 8 more are wounded, including 2 police officers. The shooter is also dead. The shooter is from southern Indiana, right across the state line from Louisville. That's according to the News and Tribune paper in Floyd County. It says the 25-year-old suspect graduated from Floyd Central High School. Police say the gunman was an employee of the Old National Bank and was about to be fired before he went into the building with a rifle yesterday. They also say he live-streamed the entire shooting on social media. The shooting happened around 8:30 yesterday morning, shortly after the bank opened. Police responded quickly. There was a shootout, and they killed the gunman within 3 minutes of being dispatched. One police officer was shot in the head and is in critical condition this morning. Another officer was shot and does not have life-threatening injuries. Police say 5 victims were killed. They range in age from 40 to 64 years old. Joshua Barrick, Juliana Farmer, Tommy Elliott, and James Tutt all died on the scene. Police say Deanna Eckert died last night at the hospital. Governor Andy Beshear says a good friend of his is among the dead, and he and family are mourning.
Acts of violence like this hurt. They tear at the fabric of who we are, at our society, at our state, at our country, and the city. Today, I'm hurt. And I'm hurting. And these are irreplaceable, amazing individuals that a terrible act of violence tore from all of us.
Nicholas Wilt is the police officer who is still in critical condition this morning. Police say he was shot in the head during the shootout and had only been on the job for a few days.
Officer Nicholas Wilt, 26 years of age, just graduated from the police academy on March 31st. I just swore him in, and his family was there to witness his journey to become a police officer.
A federal law enforcement source tells CNN that the gun used in the shooting was an AR-15 style rifle. According to the Gun Violence Archive, this is the 146th mass shooting in the country this year. Happening today, arguments begin in a class action lawsuit against Ball State's COVID-19 policies. Indiana Supreme Court justices are hearing the arguments at the University of Indianapolis in order to provide broader access to the public. A former student claims the university declined to refund part of tuition and fees when it closed campus and moved classes online in spring of 2020. The arguments will be inside the Ruth Lilly Performance Hall. Session starts at 10 this morning. Seating is first come, first served. A measure to require Indiana schools to notify parents if their children request a name or pronoun change is on its way back to the House. The state Senate voted 37-12 to pass the bill yesterday. If the legislation goes into effect, it would require schools to provide written notifications to parents within 5 business days of the child asking to be called a different pronoun or name. It would also prevent schools from teaching human sexuality in pre-K through 3rd grade. The proposal now returns to the House for another vote. A prosecutor in Lawrence County finds a police shooting there was justified. It happened in February near Mitchell. Investigators say Anthony Richmond fired shots during a traffic stop, and a Mitchell officer fired back, killing Richmond. The shootout left the Mitchell officer and Lawrence County deputy wounded. President Biden is again calling on lawmakers and calling out Republicans on gun reform. In a tweet, he says too many Americans are paying for the price of inaction with their lives. When will Republicans in Congress act to protect our communities? Biden has sent similar messages following recent school shootings. And one of the 2 Tennessee state lawmakers who was expelled over a gun control protest is back on the job. Justin Jones returned to the Capitol in Nashville minutes after the deciding vote. Republicans in the House last week kicked Jones and fellow Representative Justin Pearson out over a gun control protest. The Nashville Metropolitan Council voted unanimously yesterday to reinstate Jones. By rule, county commissioners get to appoint replacements for expelled lawmakers. That was the Nashville Council in the case of Jones. Pearson is from Shelby County, home to Memphis. Commissioners there plan to vote tomorrow. The Justice Department is formally appealing the ruling that could halt all use of a common abortion drug. Monday's filing calls the decision extraordinary and unprecedented. A U.S. district judge in Texas issued the order invalidating FDA approval for mifepristone. The decision gave the government 7 days to appeal, and that is now in. The medication is also commonly used to help women who are dealing with a miscarriage. If the initial ruling stands, mifepristone access could end or sharply drop as soon as Friday. Former President Donald Trump is set to return to New York City this week for a deposition. AP reports the appearance is connected to a business fraud lawsuit New York's Attorney General filed against Trump and his company. That could result in a ban on Trump business in the state. The case is not connected to the one that brought Trump to Manhattan last week to face felony charges. Trump's legal team is filing new objections to the upcoming testimony from former Vice President Mike Pence. Pence's attorneys say he'll no longer fight the order to appear. Trump's new appeal is the latest of several attempts by his team to prevent testimony from former members of his administration. And the Biden administration is scrambling to contain and assess the leak of classified Pentagon documents. The documents detail the extent the U.S. has gone to in spying on allies and foes alike. Officials confirm some of the many documents posted in recent weeks are authentic. However, unlike previous intelligence leaks, they believe others have been edited. A Pentagon spokesperson said the U.S. is already in talks with allies regarding the leak, and steps are being taken to tighten the flow of such highly sensitive documents. The EPA says a toxic soil spill was contained and did not contaminate Ohio waterways. A truck hauling 40,000 pounds of toxic soil away from the recent train derailment in East Palestine crashed yesterday, not far from the derailment site. Officials say the truck hit a ditch and utility pole, spilling about half its load. They say the spill was contained. Police say the driver was minorly injured and ticketed for operating a vehicle without reasonable control. IT-Mate is digging into the details of a planned aquatic center in Whitestown. The site used to be a junkyard that previously held contaminated soil. Town leaders say it took 3 years to clean up the chemicals, and they tell IT-Mate it's safe to build on now.
When everyone talks about this site, it'll never be used for 100 years. It was an old salvage yard, oil in the ground. But technology and science are at a point where we can. It's just a matter of doing it.
The town council is scheduled to vote on the plan tomorrow. If it goes through, town leaders tell us construction should be done in 2025 at a cost of $15 million.
With the first pick, the Indiana Fever select Aaliyah Boston, University of South Carolina. Aaliyah Boston, University of South Carolina.
This year's Naismith National Player of the Year is the newest member of the Indiana Fever. The team wasted little time selecting South Carolina's Aaliyah Boston first overall during last night's draft. Boston helped South Carolina to a 129-9 record, 3 Final Four appearances, and a national championship during her 4 seasons. She says she's excited to be headed to Indiana.
Just being able to learn from everyone that's there already, and that includes the rookies from last year because, they already have that pro life experience. So just being able to learn from them, but also to kind of be who I am and just continue to compete. I think everybody on the Fever now, they're going to compete, and we're going to work hard. And so I'm just really excited to get that started with everyone.
Just a tremendous person, great leadership skills, just brings an enormous amount of positive energy to our program, sends a message that we're serious about reestablishing the Indiana Fever as a championship caliber program. Just a lot of positives. I'm excited. Can you tell?
Boston is the Fever's first #1 draft pick in franchise history. And Indiana University's Grace Berger is now the school's highest drafted player of all time. The Fever selected Berger as its 7th pick in the first round. The IU guard is coming off a stellar season where she averaged 12.4 points per game and shot 40.7% from the 3. Berger says she's excited to be staying home.
Obviously, just, playing in Indiana for the past 5 years. The community is so special for me. The community is so excited about women's basketball. So I was really sad to leave Indiana, but now obviously I'm staying here. So I'm super grateful for that.
The Fever selected 3 more players in the final 2 rounds: Ohio State's Taylor Mikesell, LSU's LaDasia Williams, and South Carolina's Victoria Sexton. To business headlines, gasoline prices rose for the second consecutive week as crude oil prices faced upward pressure from supply cuts and increased demand. Prices for crude oil, the key component of gasoline, have increased for 3 consecutive weeks, although they fell some on April 10th. AAA says the current average in central Indiana is $3.51 a gallon. America is facing a new sriracha shortage. Hui Fong Foods, the Southern California-based company that produces one of the most popular brands of sriracha chili sauce, blames supply chain issues, poor weather conditions, and the war in Ukraine. This has resulted in some retailers imposing purchasing limits on the product. Moderna hopes to offer a new set of life-saving vaccines targeting cancer, heart disease, and previously untreatable conditions by 2030. A company spokesperson told CNBC that advancements in messenger RNA technology since the outset of the COVID pandemic have ushered in a golden age for new vaccines. The remarks come ahead of Moderna's Vaccine Day today. At the annual event, the company typically presents updates on vaccine development. Tupperware warns it could go out of business. The stock fell nearly 50%. Tupperware said it won't have enough cash to fund its operations if it doesn't secure additional money. The company said it's exploring potential layoffs and it's reviewing its real estate portfolio for potential money-saving efforts. It's been trying to shed its image and attract younger customers with newer and trendier products. It also struck a deal with Target last year to sell its products. A majority of Americans are opposed to raising the retirement age for younger Americans to shore up solvency for Social Security. A new poll conducted by left-leaning firm Data for Progress found that 65% of Americans surveyed were against raising the retirement age for Americans currently in their 20s. The polling comes as the matter of solvency of both Social Security and Medicare has drawn more attention on Capitol Hill over the months. Finally, in Colts Watch, there's a skills camp for young players coming back this summer. The team confirms All-Pro DeForest Buckner will host it with help from youth, high school, and college coaches. It's for students from 2nd grade to 8th grade and starts Saturday, June 3rd. We've made it easier for you to register online. Go to wishtv.com, find the As Seen on Wish TV section. In that section, you'll find the story. Click on it, and then you'll see all of the links to get you where you need to go. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.